Good night. Have a winter tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is just Freezer. I'm going to give you the show news on tonight. We're going to start with, um, we know Halloween passed already, but they still posted yesterday. And I was supposed to put it out yesterday, but I'm putting it out a day late. So NOPD, you know, they took dozens of guns off the street, during Halloween weekend. It was 39 guns that took off the street. That is good. So from off the street that saved lives, from anyone from getting hurt, that saved lives. So over this past Halloween weekend, the commander, said the NOPD officer patrolling the 8th district arrest 39 individuals, for illegal carrying guns. So that's why they took it from me, because it was illegal, because we being strict now. You have to have papers on any gun that you purchase, and if the police stop you and you have illegal guns with you, it will be taken, So thank God NOPD are cracking down on guns. First they started, in the French quarters, release numbers of Halloween weekend, in 4 days. So that's a lot of work that they did in 4 days. So will this impact crime? You know, will they arrest 37 and five of them was juveniles. So Bourbon Street Halloween amid the spooky costume. So most of them probably was wearing costume, costume, and the NOPD was stomping out what could have been a scary situation. The guns on that table is not a representing someone who was arrested for illegal carrying a firearm gun. So that's why I had when I had posted on for Halloween. That's why I said you have to be careful. You have to be careful out there because a lot of people in costumes, that's the time they're gonna try to do all kind of stuff. So they were down on a whole lot of arrests. Took 39 guns off the street. And that was good. So we see the police is working hard and trying to get this crime together and trying. The first step is taking the weapon off the street. That's the first thing. They'll save someone from getting hurt, from shooting someone. Because that was the weekend of Halloween. Something pop up, the first thing they're gonna do grab their guns. So they took all of them, took 39 guns off the street. That saved someone life. So with that arrest, probably with political shooting and homicide, as well as being a safety concern to our residents and to our visitors that's in the French quarters, according to the police. Because visitors, that's the first place they go to when they come down to New Orleans. They go to the French quarters. So we have to try to make it safe for them. Because a lot of them love to come down to New Orleans, so we don't want them to stop. You know, we concerned for our visitors that's come down here to New Orleans to have a nice time. It's a high power weapon. The police had made more than 250 arrests on Bourbon Street, illegal carrying a firearm, just this year. That was this year. You know, 250 arrests. For carrying illegal firearm. So NOPD considered the increase in arrests to a change in personal supervisor in the 8th district. The 8th district, which is the Bourbon Street, all are still under investigation for those crimes from carrying illegal guns. So when we see that the police have been working hard getting guns and crime off the street, over Halloween weekend, because we had a lot of visitors down here, so that was the first step because we need many guns and crime off the street as possible. So NOPD is doing their part. We see they're doing their part, because there was a lot of guns that they got off the street, a lot of arrests that they got off the street, carrying illegal guns, and that's what we're trying to do, get a whole lot of illegal guns from off the street. That has saved a whole lot of lives. In 4 days they had 39 arrests, 39 guns they took off the street. you know. So the French Quarters is the first place where our visitors, make their first stop at. So we want, them to be welcoming. We want to welcome them and make them safe. You know, have them to be safe. Not only for them to be safe, but for us also. We cracking down on the crimes and guns. For us also. So we that's what our goal is, to try to get all these guns off the street. To eliminate, the die down on the crime. Less guns, just less shooting someone. So we talk about how the NOPD worked so hard in the French Quarter. They had collect 39 guns, illegal guns off the street, and also many arrests. So we see that they was working hard, for the week, for Halloween weekend. So we thank God that they had no incident serious for Halloween weekend. And we thank the police that they did their part in cracking down on a whole lot of illegal guns, that was on the street. So Bourbon Street had a lot of people in costumes, also that you had to be careful. So I'm glad everything was okay, to crack down on collecting all these illegal guns off the street. So we see the police is doing their part in trying to crack down on all these illegal guns that's walking around on the street. Trying to have less shooting, less crime, less killing. So NOPD arrested, to a change in personal supervisor in a district. So they're still investigating on a whole lot of other crimes, that went on. So that's all the show news that I have for you today. And I see y'all on the next video. Have a blessed night.